Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Now, stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac. 3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Stephen Fonte and Paulie Sibilia.
Check the box. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Stephen Fonte. We have made it to Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? 12:15, we've got Dave Briggs from the Toledo Blade. He will tell us all about Bryan Blair,
I'm not going to
new
talk
athletic
today,
director.
Steve.
No?
I'm just going to make noises.
Eric Dvandorf.
Yay!
1 o'clock. Plus, we'll mix in your phone calls throughout 315-437-7644. What's up, Paulie? Now, you actually, it's a talk show, so you actually do have to speak.
I'm good, Steve. What's up with you?
I'm glad
you
it's
didn't
Friday.
even ask me how I was, and I answered.
I said, what's up? That implies I want to know how you're doing.
How'd you sleep last night?
I did okay. I'm ready for the weekend. There's been a lot going on this week.
I got good news for you, Steve.
Yeah.
Next week, Thursday and Friday.
Oh, NCAA tournament, no shows?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we'll probably be on call in case
they announce a coach.
But I have a feeling the two guys they want
might be playing.
are playing those days, so I think we're safe till at least the following week.
Okay. That sounds good to me. That sounds good. Excellent news. That made my day.
I did that just for you. I scheduled those games just for you, Steve.
Oh, so new athletic director. It is official. It became official at the very end of our show yesterday. Bryan Blair, young guy, 40 years old from Toledo, and has developed quite the reputation for fundraising. If you look at the numbers back it up. The fundraising efforts at Toledo were increased by about 300% from 2022 to present day.
Dare I say holy Toledo, Steve?
You're in a mood today, aren't you?
There's so many names being bantied about. Do we he's hired, right? Do we care about the AD other than?
Well, I was setting the stage because we're going to talk to a guy who knows him in the next segment.
Yeah.
So, but we can break away from that if you would like. You just want to talk hoops coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because and is he hiring the next coach?
I think this timing is intentional. Yes.
Yeah. He's going to have a say in it, right?
I think he's probably going to have the final say.
Yeah.
Right? It should be ultimately up to the new athletic
he's
director.
got to live with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Of course, he's going to have a say. I think he has the final say. And I think they've been doing a lot of legwork behind the scenes right now. And, as Matt Park said yesterday, they're probably down to, a few. And, whatever that means. And you bring in this new guy, you get him situated, and then you go through the final stretch of the search, and you pick your guy. And again, there is an element of musical chairs with this, right? And, your guy might, it's got to be mutual. The guy you want has to want you back, right? And
there's two guys that everybody's infatuated with, I think.
Yeah.
The double H's, the Hodgson and, I don't know why I say double H. There's Hodgson and then there's McNamara now.
Yeah.
Are the two.
Yeah.
And it seems that Jeff Goodman seems to think that Hodgson's more likely to go to Providence than to Syracuse.
That's what it seems like. Yes. With some of the stuff that he said recently, it does seem like, and Goodman did say this on social media recently. He said he's got other options. He does. He has other options,
He's probably the second biggest name out there, third biggest maybe behind Shirts. That's available. Shirts might not leave St. Louis.
Yeah, correct.
They pay well.
Correct.
USF could be lobbying to get into the Big 12, the ACC. We don't know. Working their way towards something like that. They could keep them. The best way to get yourself into a bigger conference is to win games. And
I mean, Jerry might be back at Siena next year. I think it's possible if he doesn't get the Syracuse job, and he maybe looks at BC and Georgia Tech, says, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to go through this one more time. I know we'll be good again next year. It does seem like the stage is set. They've got the Ryan Mesh kid coming in, and if they could keep Doty, and he obviously has the financial resources there that he needs and wants, and so if he doesn't like the landscape this time around, he could stay there one more year and continue to up his profile. What were you going to say?
No, I just didn't see this. Josh Shirts has been extended by St. Louis.
Yeah, so that likely means he's off the table.
Yep.
Although in the case of Merrimack and Joe Gallo there, he's under contract for like 10 more years or whatever it is. But that contract I'm sure could be bought out. The fact that he agreed to stay at St. Louis, as you said, they ponied up the money, and likely means he's off the table now for the foreseeable future.
Do people understand this now? Like the money game. Like Syracuse this new AD's got to get this fixed. You've got to have money in order to pay. Like, what? Can you imagine a time St. Louis would have been better for this guy than Providence and Syracuse? And
yeah, it's certainly a changing landscape. We see. Obviously, in the in the chat, you're seeing Shaheen Holloway's name pop up. You've seen that quite a bit on social media the last 24 to 48 hours. He's an intriguing option. This goes back to what you were saying, Paulie, that are we too focused on Hodgson and McNamara? Are there others? Of course, there are others. And he's somebody that is going to get a strong look. It sounds like he's getting a strong look. And we'll see, how it all plays itself out.
That would mean him leaving his.
Right, he would be leaving his alma mater to go elsewhere. Yeah. But again, I think it seems like he's kind of hit a plateau there, right? He's kind of and he's looking around. He wants to win. I'm sure every coach wants to win at a high level, and he's kind of hitting that ceiling there at Seton Hall.
Ryan Mullen says Shaheen does not have a good coaching record. You can't look at wins and losses per se. Sure, that's like the easy way to look at it. You got to look at where he's coached and how he's won. Like he's in the Big East in 4th place this year. For the amount of money that Seton Hall has, that's really good. I tend to think that's the equivalent of Red finishing 4th in the ACC this year, if that had happened, right? That would be pretty damn good coaching.
Yeah, they're having a good year this year, and he's been at Seton Hall 4 years. It's been a mixed bag. He was 500 right out of the gate. Then they went 25-12. Then they went 7-25, and now he's back at 21-11 as you mentioned, finished in 4th place. Picked up a really important win yesterday in the Big East Conference tournament, a game that was close against Creighton, and they were able to pull it out down the stretch. Obviously had a lot of success at St. Peter's with that NCAA tournament run his last year there, and he moved up. Here's the thing: is when I see on social media a lot, and even in the chat or in our calls. When somebody said, like I saw it today on social media, somebody said, like Shaheen, basically saying Shaheen Holloway is a can't miss. Nobody knows that, right? Nobody knows that. A different situation, obviously different NIL parameters and all that. Now, you can look at his track record and say, I think this guy is a good fit. But nobody can speak in definites, right, when it comes to this. And there's no guarantee when you're going through a coaching search. He may come here and be great. This is why I keep saying, I don't think there's just one guy that if you don't get this guy, you're in a lot of trouble. I think it's a good coach. And, Coach Boeheim said it yesterday. You get the best coach that you can, and you pair it up with the resources, and then off you go.
Right. And people, like Kevin says, yes, you can, Paulie, only look at wins and losses. No. because you have to look at the resources now, guys. It's a real it really makes, like, Shaheen Holloway may have won this year with lower resources. That is really good coaching. You know, you got to just look at everything. And would he be able to raise money in Syracuse? I don't know. You know, would his name raise money?
You think Mike Vrabel's a good coach?
Shelp says we can't hire Holloway. His only success came in the MAC, and let's hire G-Mac. Yeah, he's also in fourth place in the Big East this year. Is the Big East down? Yes, but he's punching up. And Syracuse may need a coach that's capable of punching up.
I brought up Mike Vrabel. I don't know if you heard that, but you talk about you just have to look at wins and losses. He got fired from Tennessee after 2 losing seasons, but look at what he had to work with.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Patriots, which it didn't seem like he had a ton extra to work with in New England, and he brings them to the Super Bowl. Now, I realize they had a softer schedule and whatnot, but you can't always just look at wins and losses. Yeah. Like there are other factors involved, and I think this day and age in college athletics, there are certainly other factors involved.
And it may be a thing with schools now where you have a great year one year, a bad year, great year, because you just might whiff in the transfer portal. It's legitimately resetting a roster every year. You've got to nail your coaching, your transfer portal, everything's got to work right for you to win unless you've got the budget where you can make mistakes.
And that's why you see these wildly inconsistent records. Like I mentioned, Shaheen Holloway went from 25 wins in 2023-2024 to 7 wins the next year to 21 wins this year, right? And that's why you see these big spikes. And if you miss, you miss.
Yeah, and you can retain players.
Right.
So there's a lot going into it. It's a different game. It's not a game like next year going into with Syracuse's new head coach. Had it been the old days, you'd have Nate George back. Well, you probably would have never had him.
Well, right?
But you'd have Nate George back. You'd have Betsy back. You'd hope to get Kings back. Donnie would be back. And you could build. And now it's a crapshoot every year.
Yeah. Yeah, and you would have Sadiq back and Kyan back, and that's the way they used to do it. And Adrian Autry was lamenting about that, after the loss to SMU. That it used to be, when they were hitting the orange standard on a regular basis, right? Yeah. It was you would bring in guys, you would develop them, and then as juniors and seniors, generally the better players as freshmen, sophomores, but the role players would develop into starters. And third and fourth year guys, there are so many examples of guys who came through this program and flourished their last couple of years. Now it's a brand new roster every year.
Yeah. There's no James Sutherland story. There's no Chris Joseph story where guys who just built themselves up as freshmen and sophomores barely even got on the court and played against better players in practice and then came out.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Demetrius Nichols is a great example, too. I mean, we've gotten to know him very well over the years, and, he wanted to transfer, and Coach Boeheim said, stick it out. Like we've got a plan for you, and he did. He worked really hard, and he ended up playing in the NBA. Like it can happen. And it used to happen, a lot here, and unfortunately the game has changed, and they've been slow to evolve. And you hope that they can get back on track. But in terms of the coaching search, I think that McNamara and Hodgson are the two names we've been hearing the most of. Obviously, Shaheen Holloway's picked up steam of late. Josh Schertz, it sounds like, is off the table. I don't think he was coming here anyway. I think that to circle this back to how we started the show, I think Bryan Blair absolutely will have the final say in who ends up getting this job.
Yep. And we will we'll all find out together.
Yeah, and we're going to talk with Dave Briggs on the other side from the Toledo Blade. He can fill us in on what kind of guy Bryan Blair is, kind of his philosophies running an athletic department. He will join us next from the MAC tournament. Dave is covering the MAC tournament where Toledo is playing. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Syracuse University is on the search for a new basketball head coach. Listen here for all the latest details. We are the pulse of the Orange. ESPN Radio 97.
Cosmo, JJ, and Donnie didn't play well. They didn't develop. Red got fired. You missed on players. You clearly missed on those two. You kept them as your base, and they played terrible. You whiffed on those two. Isn't the MAC changing their MAC name to the MAC from MAC, the one that GMAC's in?
Supposedly, yeah.
The MAC that MAC's in, changing from the MAC to the MAC. Show. Lots of teams take players from lower levels and move them up, and they play great. Louisville won with 2 guys from the coach. Quadir Copeland moved up from McNeese State. You're like, come on, man. Be smarter. I'm still taking the field in the coaching search, yes.
Here, yeah. Let me, yeah, how do I do this? How do I?
What?
Scroll down.
What rank was the recruiting class? What recruiting class?
Just hit it.
Yeah.
Here, you want me to take a picture?
Yeah. Just because he's not in my phone, so I can't share contact because he's not a contact.
Famous Little Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Famous Mac, Steve.
Mac Lamore.
The Knife.
Bernie.
Oh, good one. Chris?
Return of.
Yeah, good one. Good one. Coach.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say that.
Donald. You could have Ronald or Old Mac Donald. How much does conference affiliation mean, if anymore, if you can raise high NIL? Well, you want to be in a good conference. You want to have $40 million and be Miami of Ohio. The hell kind of question is it? Khalil Mack. You prayed for Indy to get a mom last night? It didn't work. Ooh, that could be a summer thing. We'll teach Paul to tie his shoes. Yeah, what was the ranking of the recruiting class? So they had Cayenne and Quadir. I don't even remember, but who cares? Were those 2 good enough to carry the team? Mac and cheese, good one. The portal guys, I don't even know how you can rank because Betsy barely played. Kyle barely played. I mean, they didn't miss on Kings and Kyle. I think Betsy was serviceable. Mac salad. Mac salad with a couple of hot dogs. Steve is not eating that meal, right?
No.
That sounds delicious right now. That's cool. That's cool, Gaper. They were 20th overall by who? Who ranked them that? Like, I mean, that's great. You get a win with 2. Yeah, I think he was serviceable. He probably had the biggest. Betsy won the SMU game with his defense. Chili Mag. Start off with a uplifting song, Steve. Eric Clapton's our artist of the day. Tears in Heaven.
All right, let's go to our guest line. I was going to say, way to kind of suck the emotion out of the room here.
I hope I can. I just want everybody to stop being so emotional. It's basketball.
All right, we've got some good news though. Syracuse University has its new athletic director, and to fill us in on the man that they are getting, we bring on Dave Briggs from the Toledo Blade, who is at the MAC conference tournament in Cleveland, Ohio. Dave, we appreciate you squeezing us in today. How you doing today?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so I guess let's start with the news this week that Bryan Blair will be SU's new athletic director. It caught us a little bit by surprise here. When did you kind of first hear Bryan Blair's name in connection with this job? Was it when the news came out, or had you been hearing some things behind the scenes?
Been hearing a couple things behind the scenes. I knew he had interviewed with Syracuse. I thought there were heard some of the other names as well. I thought someone else was the front runner, but yeah, no, certainly. I guess you're always surprised when you hear the finality of it all, but yeah, it's. I think it definitely surprised a lot of people here in Toledo, and I think most people are happy for Bryan. But I may be disappointed in a way. There's some unfinished business, like there would be anytime you leave a job. But yeah, just started hearing about it maybe in the last couple of weeks, and then just kind of the surprise of it happening.
Yeah, we were surprised as well. We had heard what you heard, that there was another front runner, and for whatever reason, that didn't happen. And Bryan Blair is here as Syracuse University's new athletic director. So I know he's been there since 2022. What can you tell us about the athletic department there under his tenure over the course of the last 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, a pretty strong tenure. I think it's hard to say. On the field, he inherited a pretty good situation. Both men's and women's basketball programs were in the middle of a stretch of many consecutive regular season MAC championships. Football was kind of in a pretty good position. He got to Toledo in 2022. Football wins the MAC title that year. The next year, they're kind of in I guess it was the year before the playoffs came to be, the expanded playoffs. They were kind of in that New Year's Six conversation for the group of five. Won 11 straight games, went 11-1, ranked in the national polls. So kind of on the field, inherited a pretty good situation, and it's still in a pretty strong situation. Both basketball programs are solid. Just hired a new football coach, but off the field is where he really made his mark, and where he kind of modernized the department for the modern era. And I know that'll be the huge thing at Syracuse, just trying to mine new corporate connections, mine new money. I'm sure you've seen all the stats of where Toledo's kind of fundraising went in the last 4 years, kind of took it to a new level. Very, very aggressive in the NIL and revenue sharing space. Toledo football, I mean, for the MAC, it might not sound like a lot in the ACC, but for the MAC, it was big, and they had a payroll north of $3 million last year, which was the most in the MAC. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly it's hard to say from a competitive perspective, because it just kind of there's just unfinished business. He has some new hires and a lot of promise, but from just kind of seeing the college athletic landscape from 20,000 feet, and just kind of relentlessly and selling a vision. And that'd probably be the same thing he'll do at Syracuse. I mean, at Toledo, he just kind of tried to dare the community to dream bigger. Toledo athletics had always been pretty good, but with the carrot of the playoffs, with everything a athletic department can do to energize the fortunes of the entire university community. He kind of was very good at selling that vision. Always said, let's take this from very good to great, and he got donors to buy into that vision. So certainly just being on the forefront of all the new I guess everything you have to be in the new landscape of college athletics, and just raising money, that's kind of his strength.
Yeah, and it looks like it too. We saw the same the numbers on the release, that he basically tripled the fundraising within the athletic department over the course of his 4 years there. And I saw a recent interview of his from maybe a couple weeks ago posted that he did on the Toledo campus, and it sounds like he has no concerns about it translating to, he basically said, like, I don't care what school you are, what conference you're in, what we're doing here works. Do you feel that as well? Do you think that Syracuse is getting a guy that has a plan that is going to translate from Toledo to a Power Four?
Yeah, absolutely. And he has background at that level at South Carolina and Washington State back when they were in the Pac-12. and first and foremost, he's known as a football guy. Played college football, and football's always kind of been at the forefront of all the schools he's been at, including at Toledo. But I think absolutely. I think it'll be good for the entire athletic department, but I think he'll be relentless all in with certainly men's basketball and football at Syracuse, and kind of just selling the same vision he sold at Toledo, just on a bigger level. He'll sell, to Syracuse basketball should be back in the Final Four in short order. They should be getting 35,000 a game at the Carrier Dome again. The football program should be filling the place, and in the playoff hunt, and he'll sell that in a way and invest in a way where I think people want to be a part of it. Obviously, you have to show results and get that momentum going in the first couple of years, but I do think it will translate.
Yeah, everybody in Syracuse just perked up when you said get back to the Final Four, because that's what they're going through right now. As you well know, they're just fired their basketball coach,
right.
And that's going to be his first order of business. He's going to get here, and it's going to be like, okay, go find the solution, go find the savior.
Let's get a 10 seed first.
I know, right? Just get back to the people would be happy with a bid at this point. But yeah, I think everybody perked up when you said that, because that is the goal. What's it been like covering him? From your job's perspective, because he seems like a really charismatic guy. We talk about people winning a press conference or winning an interview. It seems like he's pretty good at winning those press conferences, I would assume.
Yeah, I think they'll have the official press conference next week, and absolutely. I mean, like I said, he's very good at and some people may have made some people uncomfortable when you kind of have battle hardened and have seen your one way to do things for a while. I can kind of when you rock the boat a little bit, it can be, I guess, scary when you're talking about some goals that might seem too ambitious. But he's very, very charismatic, very good with the media. He believes in telling the story of the university and the school and what they're thinking. And a big part through the media. So yeah, I think you'll really enjoy working with him.
Do you have a feel for how the transition is going to take place? Obviously we haven't heard from him yet, but as we just pointed out, he's got some business to take care of, pretty immediately here. I mean, the transfer portal opens on April 7th. Everybody's saying got to have a coach in place before then, which means he's going to have to get that done over the course of the next couple of weeks. Do you have a feel for how the transition will work at Toledo as he kind of wraps up whatever unfinished business he might have there and makes the transition here? Will he be splitting duties, or is it just going to be kind of a clean break in your opinion?
I don't know. I mean, I think it probably would make more sense to have a clean break just for everything going on at Syracuse. My understanding as it is now, and Bryan was at the MAC tournament in Cleveland yesterday. I believe he's here today and just about to head over to the arena. But my understanding is he's technically has to give Toledo 30 days notice. That's in his contract. A lot of times in these situations, the university president will say thank you and just ask you to step down immediately so you can begin your new job. And the old school, and Toledo in this case, can move on as well. But technically, I know he's running the basketball search at Syracuse. That starts immediately. I'm sure he's already. Sure, he didn't sleep the last couple of nights. I'm sure he's already deep into that. But for now, he still is the athletic director at Toledo, and will be for another month while he's pulling double duty with the search. So I don't know how it'll work. I mean, if I had to guess, I think he'll probably step down in the next couple of days and begin full time at Syracuse. But for now, he's leading the Syracuse basketball search while pulling double duty at Toledo.
Yeah, and we've been hearing, that potentially that press conference would be the middle of next week. So maybe that makes sense. Maybe they purposely did that to give him a little time to wrap things up on his end there before coming here and getting down to work right away. Dave, you've been very gracious with your time. I know you're busy there covering the tournament. Anything else we didn't touch on that you think is important to say about Bryan Blair before we let you go?
No, I just think Syracuse fans should be excited, and it'll it's certainly gonna be interesting. Is he gonna be pressured into the romantic basketball hire with McNamara, or is he going to have a choice to go outside the box?
If you know, please tell us, because we've been talking about it all day, every day for the last week or so. It'll be very interesting. We're all we're all sitting on pins and needles ourselves, waiting to see how this all plays itself out. But Dave, thanks so much for the time, and thanks so much for the insight.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you. Dave Briggs from the Toledo Blade joining us here on the show.
Did we just boot them off the schedule in football?
Yes.
Yeah. So we won't be talking any football.
Yes. Funny how that works, right? We've got to take a timeout. Phone lines open, 315-437-7644. We've got Eric Dvandorf coming up at 1 o'clock. We can take your phone calls next. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
You guys are going to hate me with the next coach also, because I'm going to be the exact same way. You guys are going to call me insert name of next coach here, Glazer. And then when I say they didn't even beat Houston, there's nothing to be excited about, y'all call me haters. Are you watching USA tonight, Steve?
Baseball Classic, World Baseball Classic? Can't wait. Can't wait. I'm having a
Why do you hate America?
party at my house.
Steve hates America.
No, I'm just I'm joking. I'm not really into the World Baseball Classic. I hope they win, but I will not be watching.
Whatever Eric says, I disagree with Eric all the time. Eric thought this was the third best roster in the ACC, and that could have been one of the worst takes I've ever heard in my life. You clearly don't listen to my show, because I rarely change my opinion on things. I'm a shill and cuck for the university. No, I'm not. I clearly am not. I lit up the football program last year. I said you guys are all getting excited over losses early in the year. The team, you got to win. I told you Red was going to get fired. Like, just because I'm not an asshole like you would say things like that. Will you guys stop talking politics, too? Just shut up. This is an escape. I'll ban you for talking politics. I'm not a banner. You can...
Did Supercat just send a bread emoji? What is that?
It's a big fat hot dog.
What is that? I can't see. I can't tell what that is.
Paulie hot dog, Steve potato. Those are, I don't know what those are. They're loaves of bread.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, you're a loaf. I'm a dumb Republican. There's a difference between wanting. I'm a shill? Okay, I'm a shill. No, I'm just not a dick. I'm not a shill. Melk says Jerry's getting the job in the YouTube chat. He's the only one talking over in YouTube. He's filibustering over there. Say hi, YouTube people.
protect your home, personal property, personal liability, and more. Your homeowner's policy can be completely customized to ensure that you are properly covered. Visit OCMIC.com to request a quote or find an agent near you. Oswego County Mutual Insurance Company, OCMIC.
There's a bok choy emoji. Let's see it. Whoa, there it is. Did you know there's a bok choy emoji, Steve?
I did not know that.
Change the world. Is Bryan Blair going to change the world at Syracuse University, Steve? You guys voted for this.
I didn't vote for this. Chad voted for this. They had
a lot of slow skates
They
today.
had a lot of slow skates. Maybe we need some slow skates after the week we've had.
Steve,
it's been full speed ahead all week. What?
I want to ask you a question.
Ask me a
And you're going to hate me for doing this.
Okay.
Why are people on social media so angry at Jim Boeheim?
You know the answer.
I don't. I really don't. He missed the tournament his last 2 years here. He built the program. People are like, why is this guy all over TV? He is all over TV every year.
Well, he's a TV analyst, number one. That's
But
why he's all over TV.
like, remember the years he was
Yes.
when Syracuse didn't make the tournament?
Yeah.
They had him
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Like he's top 5 wins in coaching.
Yes.
They're going to ask that guy about the teams.
And he shares his opinion, and he's not afraid to share what he thinks or says.
He's a great interview.
Right? Yeah, we had him on the other day, and he said some things that, whether you agree with him or not, got people talking. Right?
No, okay. Nobody should ever say a bad word about Jim Boeheim. I'm not saying that. Like, if you disagree with his take, disagree with his take. Go, I don't think Jerry should be the coach. Here's why, blah, blah, blah. I don't think they should still play zone anymore. Here's why. It's outdated, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But to say, keep this guy away from our basketball program, shut this old man up, like, he's the reason you think Syracuse basketball can be good.
Right.
Like,
correct.
You can hate him all you want. You just have to, you don't have to be jerks about it. Like, people are going to ask Jim Boeheim about the NCAA tournament, and probably going to ask him more, too, because one of his biggest players of all time is now coaching a team in the tournament. And the Syracuse job is open.
And one of his other biggest players of all time, his son now plays at Syracuse.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many connections, so many reasons why, of course, he's on TV. I mean, he's a TV analyst. And again, he says things that gets people talking. National championship head coach, went to a bunch of Final Fours. And again, his track record speaks for itself.
Like, you can disagree with him, but, like, he is Syracuse basketball.
Correct. Yes.
Do you think the next coach, even if it's not Jerry, is not going to want Jim Boeheim's input on a few things here and there? I would bounce things off that dude all day if I was had a basketball mind.
Yeah. Yeah, you say, why are people so angry? You know the answer to. I mean, it's the way that it ended, right? It's the last couple of years. It's the fact that I think some people don't like the fact that he waited for his sons to come through, and the results weren't there. And people will say he gave special treatment to Joe Girard. I mean, you've heard all of the reasons, right?
Yeah.
And that's why people are angry.
And, like, he chased Kadari Richmond out of town. He didn't really chase him out. He just said he wasn't going to start unless he earned it.
Yeah.
He didn't chase Quincy Guerrier out. He said he couldn't shoot threes unless he could prove he could make them. We need you to rebound.
Yeah, he wanted to shoot threes.
Yeah, it's bizarre to me. You can dislike him, it's in this weird take that he's running the athletic department. It's bizarre to me. Like, people have no clue how athletic departments work. I don't even have a clue, but I do know for sure Jim Boeheim is not, like, hiring and firing people and making decisions.
Right. He makes his opinions known. I mean, right?
Yeah.
And that we've seen that this week. But he's not in charge of anything other than
And people are like,
he's fundraising.
He's pushing for his guy. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Well, if Steve needed a job and I had a soapbox, I'd get on it and be like, hire Steve Fani. He's the best.
Yeah. I have no problem with him doing that. As you would expect. You would expect that. Let's go to the phone lines. Dave in Stonington.
What the hell is that?
It's where are you? Connecticut? Is that where you are, Dave?
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right down in the Mystic area.
Yeah.
I was watching the USA game today as an Atlantic 10 conference, and because I never really miss a game, and I'm watching GW pouring it on St. Louis, and the basketball coach at St. Louis is, he's dropped out of the race for Syracuse, I guess, by signing an extension, so he's no longer available. But I'm watching the halftime interview, and it's very fitting that Trey Autry has 14 points in the game. And I was just wondering what you guys think about, what's going on with the Atlantic 10, these lower seeds. Mark Schmidt, he's one of those that may go a little bit further than a lot of people think. He might go to the NCAAs with that team.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Sometimes you will see a team galvanize when their coach has either been fired or about to be fired, right? And they play for a greater purpose. And I think that we are seeing that with St. Bonaventure a little bit. I think we saw that with Oregon State. We saw it even with Arizona State. I know that when they bowed out, they got blown out. But down the stretch of that season, really after Bobby Hurley said, I know I'm getting fired, they played really well. And you're seeing Bonaventure right now go on a little bit of a run. They're playing inspired basketball. They're playing for a greater purpose. It's more than just about themselves. And when you get college kids, or any athlete for that matter, pro, I don't care what, high school, whatever level you're talking about, you get a group of guys together and they come together for a greater purpose. Sometimes you see something special, so it doesn't shock me. We didn't mention yesterday that Miami of Ohio lost for the first time, and it'll be interesting to see how the committee handles that. I saw Joe Lunardi say that he expects that they will still be in the tournament. He actually said, as of yesterday, he said they're not even in the first four. He said they're in they're in.
That's going to be a disaster.
They probably deserve to go to the first four. Play, if you're that good, play
okay,
your way
I can
in.
see that.
Play your way.
That's fine. But if they're on that 10, 8, 9,
he had him at 10 or 11.
They're going to get smoked.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. That's why you probably got to put them in that play-in game, 11 versus 11, and see if they can get in. But
I could be wrong, but. I don't like little guys anymore. Get them out of here. Shoo.
So, again, with 68 teams, it comes down to like a 500 Auburn team.
I'd rather have that.
You would rather have that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I really would.
That's what you're going to get. You're going to get like the 13th place team in the SEC.
I would rather have that.
Than a team that was undefeated but lost once.
It would be interesting then. Like, you could legit, like, if you got rid of all the little guys and the one seed had to play, like, the 13th place team in the SEC, that would be way more fun. Way more fun.
Well, that's what you're going to get if you get expansion. You're going to get more of those,
bring it,
average teams from big conferences. Oh, you're brave. You're just going to the phone lines.
No, because if you hit the button, Steve, listen here. If you hit the phone button, it shows up.
It tells you who it is. Okay.
Stefan,
what's going on?
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
Stefan, how are you today?
Doing good. Now, it probably has been a whirlwind of a week with head coach being dismissed and now the hire of a new AD. What direction do you think this new AD is going to go in? Is he going to hire the best coach available, or is he going to hire his own man?
Well, I think he would think his own man was the best coach available.
I was going to say it could be both. Right? He hopes that it's both. That is the best coach available is the guy that he picks. I thought he was going to say he's going to hire somebody in the family, and I was going to say it could be the same thing. It could be the same thing. we'll see how it all plays out. I think it does. The fact that Bryan Blair has no ties to Cuse, I do think that makes it easier for him to go away from the nostalgia of a Jerry McNamara hire. But that's not to say that he won't think Jerry McNamara is the best, man for the job. So I think Jerry is very much in play. I think he is among the front runners. I think Brian Hodgson certainly is among the front runners. Again, Shaheen Holloway's gained traction the last 48 hours or so. I think there are several coaches in the mix, but to Stefan's point, I think this is where he was going with that. He may have someone else in mind that that we're not necessarily talking about.
I think he's going to go left. He asked what direction he thought he was going to go. Up? North? It's going to go north with the program. Thank you.
That would be good.
Yes. You don't want to go south. You don't want your program going south, so north.
Or east or west, for that matter.
North, because then you're staying the same. You want it to be like a running back. You want to go north and south, but north only.
I love how people are trying to guess whether or not I want Jerry here. Alphabet guy says Steve doesn't want Jerry here. That is not the case at all. And you know my feelings for Jerry.
Why do you hate Jerry? Please tell everybody why you hate Jerry.
I love Jerry.
I've said I don't want him here, and it's just because if it goes bad, I don't want what's happening to Red.
Well, right. Nobody wants to see him go through that.
That is me glazing Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't want to tarnish Jerry. I want him to be the beautiful Jerry I've always known.
Yeah, Jerry is going to be successful wherever he goes. I don't know. As I've said before, I'm not telling you what I want. I'm telling you what I think. And I think there is a good chance that they will go in another direction for the sake of going in another direction. But it's hard to – I think things changed a lot by him winning the conference tournament. I think if they had not won the conference tournament, then I think that they certainly would have gone in a different direction. That changes – in my mind, that changes a lot.
This is a great question. Does Jerry know you wished against him to lose against Vermont?
He does know that. Wasn't it I wished? I've explained it to him.
Yeah, I'm going to make a billboard that says Steve hates Jerry McNamara.
Stop.
Hire Bobby Hurley.
Stop it.
You're not going to watch the USA play baseball today? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I'm not into the World Baseball Classic.
What in the hell is wrong with you? You hate Jerry McNamara.
Stop it.
Don't like hot dogs. You hate Team USA.
I want what's best for Jerry. I'm going to leave it at that. I want what is best for Jerry. I want him to have success. And he's certainly finding success right now. And if he wants to come back this year, I hope it happens for him. I just want what's best for him.
Next thing you're going to do is say you don't like apple pie and fireworks. Can't work like this.
I love apple pie.
Are you scared of fireworks?
I'm not scared. I like fireworks. I don't.
You like them? See, this is a great summer topic. Like, I find fireworks to be so boring.
So here's the thing.
They scare my dog. Yeah, I don't like them.
I get that. So we go to Old Forge every year, as you know, for 4th of July. The fireworks show that they put on in Old Forge for the 4th of July is phenomenal.
What makes it phenomenal? Lots of booms and bangs.
They've got they've got the old school music that they play.
Like what?
Like the fife and drum. Yeah, right.
I got you.
It's very patriotic. Like you feel like you're back in 1776, and it's impressive. I mean it's
oh, the bombs bursting in air.
It's like a grand finale for 30 minutes. It's very impressive. And if you've ever seen the fireworks at Disney, it's the same kind of thing. Like those fireworks shows are amazing. A regular fireworks show, I'm kind of like,
this isn't like we can literally FaceTime somebody in Iran right now if we could. Like we could literally talk on the phone to somebody with our face like the Jetsons, and we're gonna sit and look at lights pop up. Oh, boom, boom, boom! Come on, that's boring. That is boring. I want a laser. Those drone shows, those are awesome.
Those are cool.
Those are awesome.
They did one at a Bills game I was at not that long ago, and that was pretty cool.
Fireworks are like the vinyl of entertainment now. Like they're outdated.
Well, again, it's once a year, Paulie. Once a year, I enjoy a fireworks show at Old Forge.
We are having all sorts of problems with our
We are.
screener.
It's time. We need to take a timeout anyway. You want to take a timeout here while you figure that out? Our call screener's down at the moment. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll take a timeout here. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I'm a miserable lad because I don't like fireworks. Vinyl is way cooler than fireworks. You're right. I have a lot of vinyl. Yeah, send it. Yeah. Send it. Yeah, no, because I'm on the air. Yeah, Dawn and Jim. How do you like? Do you like fireworks, Rick? Sure. Yes or no? You're indifferent.
They're fireworks. Who doesn't like fireworks?
Me. They're just boring.
What's wrong with you?
They're boring.
What kind of an un-American?
He hates Jerry McNamara.
Oh my God.
That's even more un-American than hating fireworks.
Stop
anyway,
it.
So just say I'm sending this on your behalf.
Yeah. Just say, hey, Paulie's on the air. Can you read this? I'm a miserable lad because I'm cold and alone. Last night, I woke up sweating. I was hot and alone last night, Steve. That's going to be my OnlyFans title, Hot and Alone. Steve's top 3 hates, GMAC fireworks and apple pie. Damn right.
Okay.
America comes in a close fourth.
Yeah, I love all of those things. I love GMAC, I love fireworks, and I love apple pie. So, I do love bread, Lukey Lou. I do. I don't hate bald eagles, but I do hate seagulls. Yeah. I'm good with pelicans. Yeah. Yeah, so what's happening? Yeah. Okay. Who are on the phone? Wait, so line 1? Okay, and who's going first? Line 2? Oh, Dave and Syracuse first. Okay.
Yeah, go. I don't want to tell it.
What are you doing?
I don't want to tell it on the air.
Oh, who's Mike and Manlius?
Yeah, that's
all right. I guess just start. That is funny. Who is from Lee Baldwin? Who do we have?
I don't know. I can't see the screener.
No, I know, but we're about to come back.
Like, I've heard of people doing that with clothes, like they wear them to an event and then return them. Will you guys call Tim and tell him call manager's not working?
I have never seen fireworks at Harborfest, D. Hayes. I have not. Mike. Okay, Mike's on line 3. Line 3.
You call Tim about this. After midnight, Steve, I have adopted the nothing good happens after midnight life. Back in my
back in the day, your night was just getting started.
Yeah, now nothing good happens after midnight.
You don't see midnight all that often, I would imagine.
Yeah, I was walking home to my apartment the other night after I got back from Charlotte through the middle of Armory Square at like 1 o'clock, and it was dead.
Oh, really?
On a Thursday. When I was a kid, in my drinking days, Thursday nights were absolutely packed down here.
Yeah. Times have changed.
Yeah. I don't even know what line I'm going to.
You're going to line 3.
Okay.
Mike from Lee Baldwin and Company joining us to fill us in on the market. Mike, what's going on?
Hi, guys. Kind of a mixed day today. The Dow's got a small gain up about 23 points, but we're seeing a little bit of weakness in the NASDAQ and S&P, both down about 1/4 to 0.5%. So nothing too exciting. Closing out another wild week. Hopefully we can hold in there and not close too negative into the weekend. We do have some diamonds. We're seeing strength in energy and utility stocks today. So a lot of those stocks like Exelon, NextEra Energy, First Energy are at close to all-time highs. Duke Energy is another one. Our dog, we're going to go with Lululemon, is at a 52-week low, so you guys got to pick up the purchases of your athletic shorts and get that stock going again. It's been kind of a poor performer the last year or so. So tough day for Lulu. Overall, pretty quiet day, and we're just hoping we can close out a quiet week and go into March Madness next week with some momentum.
All right, I like the positivity, Mike. Thanks for coming on. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, guys.
All right, all the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com. We've got
phone lines are packed.
They are. We got to get through them here because we got Devo coming up at the top of the hour. So with that in mind, let's go to line 1. We've got Dave in Syracuse up next. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, guys, real quick on coaching search. It's amazing to me, Steve, you just mentioned it in your last segment, how anything that happens right now, like Jerry won this conference tournament. If he had lost on a desperation shot by Merrimack, he would have fallen behind Hodgson. If Hodgson were to lose his first-round game of his conference tournament and Jerry were to somehow pull a Cinderella win the first round of the tournament, he would probably catapult right in front of him. And you know, I think that's more media fan-related as far as the decision-makers. That's kind of how it goes right now. But, Steve, let me take you out of your comfort zone a second.
Yeah.
You are the politically correct guy on the show. You see both sides. Paulie makes the outlandish comments. You know, that's
you don't know me.
Yeah, I do.
You don't know me.
You have the 15th ranked SEC team over the Cinderella team, which is what makes
You're
the
damn
tournament
right.
spectacular. But that's okay. That's why you're loved. Anyway, Steve, let me take you out of your comfort zone. If you had to make a decision right now, you're a decision maker, who do you think should be the next coach at Syracuse? Not who you think will be. What do you think it should be?
Well, so when this process started, I said I thought Josh Schertz was the guy. That if you could give me anybody, he would be the guy I would take. He is now off the table.
Okay.
I love Jerry McNamara. You know this. If you've listened to the show at all, you know that. I don't want it to see it go poorly for him here. I mean, I think we just saw what happened to Red. I think that he's obviously gained a lot of traction. I think he's going to be successful wherever he goes. I would want Jerry to come here. I think Jerry's going to come here at some point. I've said this before. I think he's going to be the head coach here someday. I want him to come here when the university is ready to win and ready to give him the resources. And if that's now, I hope it's now. And if it's not now, but it's in 5 years, I hope it's in 5 years. Because I want him to be set up for success whenever he's the head coach here. Because I think he will be, and I think he's going to kill it. I'm not sold on Brian Hodgson. I realize he's got a great resume. I think anybody's a risk, right? We talked about this. Shaheen Holloway, he's done some good things. Last year did not go well. It was a very bad year, and then he turned it around in 1 year, and now he's got them, as the number 4 seed in the Big East Conference tournament. So I think there are guys who could do the job. Several guys who could do the job. I would love to see Jerry here someday. I just want to make sure that the university is ready to win when he comes. I realize I didn't give you a specific answer there, but that's deliberate.
All right, that's who you are. That's okay.
What a waffler!
I'm not waffling what I think. That's how I feel. Like I think Jerry's going to kill it here when it's time, and I don't know that it's time right now.
I don't think you can go wrong with either one of Jerry or Hodgson. I don't. They're both very different personalities.
Yes, right. I want whoever it is to be set up for success and to be able to win.
Do you think do you think SU can do that in year one for the coach? Because you don't even have the AD in place. Like, you need the money now, right this minute.
I think that you're going to get an initial boost, but to set up for long-term success, it's got to be there year in and year out. And I don't know. I don't know if this university and this community and everything that goes with it, the donors, I don't know if Syracuse is ready to win year in and year out. I think they will be ready to win in the near future. I think, like, initially they will be ready to win. But are they going to be ready to win 4 or 5 years, like, moving forward? I don't know the answer to that. Well, if you win,
it'll grow. I think year one's going to be the hardest. I really do. I
think year one, I think they are going to pour. You even said this. They're going to pour as many resources into this program as possible,
Steve,
to get them back in the tournament. I'm not sure year one's the hardest. It might be like year 4 might be the hardest. You know what I mean?
Steve, who do you think I think should be the head coach? I've said the name multiple times. He's not even on the list.
Tommy Amaker?
No. Hofstra's coach, Speedy Claxton.
Speedy Claxton.
I think he would be great.
Yeah.
I would like to see him get an interview.
But again, that goes back to, like, if it's Holloway, if it's Claxton, like, there are guys who I'm sure could do the job, but no matter who you hire, there's risk involved. There's risk. You just don't know how it's going to translate from wherever they are now to. It's not an apples to apples comparison. The guys we're talking about, Siena, Seton Hall, Hofstra, South Florida. It's not an apples to apples comparison to where they are right now. We got to quickly go to Mike and Manly's because we got Eric Dvandorf waiting. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Steve. Hey, Paulie.
Hi.
Okay, so first of all, God bless everybody on Friday the 13th, and God bless you all. What I wanted to say, it seems like SU is almost like a train, like a runaway train right now, and everybody's riding coach when the problem, in my opinion, is up at first class. Boeheim once said that the reason he won so many games is because he had good players, great players. And, Steve, you mentioned long-term success. That comes from having a winning program. So it's like egg and chicken. Which comes first? I'm not sure, but I'm just laying it down for you.
Yeah, I don't think any of us know. And, again, I think the initial commitment is going to be there. I don't know if there's, long-term sustainability. And I think that's what remains to be seen.
It is Friday the 13th. I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
And I also just realized I came home on Wednesday, not Thursday.
It's one of those weeks, Paulie, where
I'm lost.
Yeah, because it's one of those weeks where the days get all mixed up.
That's why Armory Square was empty on a Thursday, because it was a Wednesday.
Because it was a Wednesday. That makes more sense. All right. Let's
I'm getting old.
Let's take a time out here. Eric Dvandorf joins us next on ESPN Radio.
That would have meant today was Saturday. Great to see you Patrick Louise, when's the last time I crapped my pants? It was a few years ago. I had whenever Syracuse played in Nebraska, in the NCAA tournament, it was a tragic driving accident. I got in that I was coming back from Nebraska, and I got in that stretch of throughway between Pennsylvania and the that rest area where you walk over the throughway, and I didn't make it. It was a disaster. See, I'm a man who Steve never would have told a story like that.
Like what?
That I pooped myself.
I missed that. I walked away for 2 seconds to take a phone call. Florida guy, it's not. There's nothing that I would say that I don't like about him, other than I don't know that it's a guarantee that he's going to come here and be successful. I don't know if anybody has a guarantee that they're going to come here and be successful. I mean, I think he's done well with what he's had so far, but again, it is a relatively small sample size, just as it is with Jerry. And I don't know. You guys got to understand, like, this whole thing about Jerry. Like, you know what? I'll say. I'm going to say it on the air so that we.
Patrick Louise. There's more to that story. There's more details. It was gruesome.
Is Devo?
Gruesome, not
Devo's
funny.
on the phone. Okay.
I had to pull over somewhere and throw my clothes into the woods.
Lukey Lou, I think they're going to fund the program for next year. I think whoever comes in is going to have the resources immediately. I don't know if they will. I don't know if it's sustainable for them to have the same resources.
Are you
moving
still
forward.
talking sports? I'm
responding to people in the chat.
I'm trying to tell people that I crapped my pants once, and
yeah,
I was so lucky. I was on a road trip though, because I had clothes in the trunk. Slow skate. Steve, you look wonderful tonight.
So do you.
You know who always looks wonderful?
Our next guest, Eric Dvandorf.
Very handsome man.
Yes. This is us driving into our second hour. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. Devo, always great to chat with you. How are things going? How are you doing today?
Everything's good. That was Eric Clapton was my dad's favorite.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So, what was it? Stairway to Heaven? One of the songs?
Tears in Heaven.
Tears in Heaven, Stairway. Yeah, well, close enough, Paulie.
Yeah, Heaven.
That's right. Heaven's involved. He's our artist of the day. So it's fitting that you're coming on today to talk with us. I guess before we get into the coaching search and all that, I guess just a comment from you, Eric, on bringing the Adrian Autry era to a close. It's tough when anybody loses their job, but especially somebody who played at the university and dedicated so many years to the university. And I know you being part of the Syracuse basketball family, it can't be easy to see what Red has had to go through and what he has gone through the last few years. And he obviously didn't win enough games, and it was time for change. But that being said, he's still a person. He's still got a family. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on kind of wrapping up the Adrian Autry era before we move on here.
Man, sports are tough. Being a head coach in high-level college sports it's tough. And if you're not winning games and you're not progressing, then usually that's what the outcome is going to be. But yeah, it is tough when you have a family, and not only Red, but the assistants. I mean, the guys were here for a year or 2 years, and then they have to get up and find another job and probably move out and do it all over again. So it's a tough job, and it's been a tough 3 seasons. But I know that Red and the other guys, they'll latch on somewhere else. I mean, they have plenty of connections, plenty of basketball knowledge. But yeah, just overall tough seeing it. And I think he had even more pressure on him being in the family and just the expectations following Coach Boeheim. Tough shoes to fill. But he'll latch on somewhere else and he'll get it back going.
What did you make of Coach Boeheim? He's been all over the news lately saying JJ and Donnie let Red down this year.
I mean, they didn't have the best seasons, right? I think obviously JJ and his senior year, I mean, it kind of, his last home game, he scored 0 points. I think his last 3 games, he had 6 points combined and, shot the ball really bad. So, he had some times during the year where he had some good games, but overall, not the season that he wanted and not the season that, obviously Red wanted him to have. And then Donnie, he always showed glimpses, despite being hurt early on. He had some really, really good games and showed what he could really do. But I think same thing with JJ, just inconsistent defensively. I don't think he was there like he needed to be. Offensively, obviously, we know his talent. But even some games, just, not aggressive like he needed to be. And I think towards the end of the year, he got caught out on the perimeter a little bit too much. Just settle in and free throw line in. If he could dominate in there, like the trail threes, pick and pop threes, those would have been there. But overall, I think just both guys were inconsistent. And coming into the year, I don't think them or the coaching staff thought they would have this type of years. They were expecting to have big years and obviously make a tournament run, and it's unfortunate that didn't happen.
I don't want you to say anything bad about Red or his coaching because it works for some people and it doesn't for others. What did you make? Like, you played for a guy who, if you made a mistake, you were out. And, if in the players that were good were in and they played the whole game. What did you make of Red's substitutions and his subbing patterns?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, like Red had his plan. I don't know what was going on, inside his end or the coaching staff in the meetings. If I was coach, would I would have done some things different? Yeah, I think everybody would have, and then, if I was coach and did stuff, people would be like, hey, I would have did it this way. So you're always going to have criticism. You're always going to have opinions. But, yeah, I think he could have maximized the guys that he had maybe a little bit more. But again, I wasn't in those meetings. I don't know what they were trying to execute. Maybe he was trying to execute something and then the players just didn't do it. It's half the coaching staff. It's half the players. Like, the players go out there and play. They have to give consistent energy and effort. And I don't think they did that. Like, just competing at a high level, it was inconsistent during the year. And it was frustrating because I think they showed glimpses of what they really could be, against Houston and in the Las Vegas tournament and even some games in the ACC. They showed what they were capable of, but, they were never consistent with being able to do that. So I think that's the most frustrating part for fans and people just watching Syracuse basketball this year is knowing what they can do, but they weren't consistent in doing that.
Devo, how concerned are you about the future of the program moving forward? 5 straight years without an NCAA tournament appearance. We talk a lot about NIL on this show and people get mad, but, Syracuse is probably in that 7 to 9 range right now in the ACC, which is not getting you to Final Fours. It might get you to a tournament, on a semi-regular basis, but you're not going to Final Fours out of the 7 to 9 slot most likely. Do you think they could get back to winning on a national level with this program? And if so, what is it going to take?
Yeah, absolutely. We just had a podcast Wednesday, and I was just saying, if you get the right hire, the right guy, people will come out of the woodworks. Even this season, you talk about the North Carolina game. I think there was like 23,000 in the Dome. It was the largest on-campus crowd in college basketball, and they were losing most of the year. So it's like fans, they're holding on for dear life, and they want to be able to get back on track and get back to that national championship caliber team. And I think we can. I think the Chancellor hire was great. I think the AD hire was great. The guy coming from Toledo, he seems like he's energetic. He was ahead of the ball for the NIL structure at Toledo, and obviously that's a big part of college basketball now. So to be able to have a guy in who knows what he's doing is going to check all the boxes on that, that's super important. And then obviously the hire for the men's basketball coach is super important. And I was looking at reports where they said, Hodgkins is almost close to inking a deal with Providence, right? And then you have GMAC and but even the AD, I think that came out of left field. No one really heard that name, probably a day prior to him signing. So who knows what they're going to do with the head coaching position. But whoever comes in here, man, a hell of an opportunity. The brand is the brand. Syracuse is Syracuse, and it's one of the top jobs. I think it's probably the top job opening in the country right now. You know, regardless of what happened, you know, the last 5 years, Syracuse is the brand, and it's going to be a heck of an opportunity for somebody to come in. And if they win here, I mean, they're going to give you the keys, you know, and if you lose, they're going to drive you out of town. So whoever comes in has to have thick skin. They have to have a plan. They have to be a relationship builder, a guy who can embrace the community and really engage the community and get the support. And I think, you know, if you could do that, man, watch out, because it's always better when Syracuse is good in college basketball.
Eric, what do you make of, I don't know what percentage of the fan base it is, but there's a vocal part of the fan base that is just completely over the Jim Boeheim era and the family part of the program. Do you understand that at all, or, you know, and what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, he earned to say whatever he wants, honestly. He's a Hall of Famer. He did it for 50-plus years. He's the one who built Syracuse really from the ground up, you know, so whatever he wants to say, he's earned it, and obviously not everyone's going to agree with it. People are going to have an opinion, but I mean, just to say like, hey, get him away from the program, you can't say that. I mean, he's the one who built it. He should be able to have access whenever he wants, regardless of who the coach is coming in or whatever. He should have access. He earned that. He's a Hall of Famer. So for the people, you know, complaining about that, they can keep complaining, because I don't think anything's going to change. But I mean, hey, he's a Hall of Famer. His opinion, I think it matters, you know, and regardless of what people say, you know, the basketball knowledge that he has is greater than anybody on Twitter. Trust me.
When you look at the candidates out there, and you mentioned, you know, Hodgson, and it seems like it's picking up steam with him to Providence, and Schertz just signed an extension at St. Louis, so it seems like he's off the table. Not that he was necessarily coming here before, but you look at, again, you mentioned Jerry. I know Hop has been brought up. Shaheen Holloway from Seton Hall has been, you know, named in recent days, and his name seems to be picking up steam a little bit. Do you have a lean right now, or do you think, you know, that it's somebody we haven't been talking about that might ultimately get this job, kind of like with Bryan Blair and the athletic director position?
Yeah, I mean, it could be somebody out of left field. I mean, I would love for GMAC to come back. I think he's earned it. I think he's shown what he could do at Siena. And just in 2 years, you know, you heard Coach Boeheim, you know, whether they had a 4-win season, he comes in, the first year turns around, and the second year he wins the MAC championship and puts them in the NCAA tournament. So a heck of a job he's doing. I just think, and I was on staff with him, obviously I played with him. I just know what type of person he is. And if you watch that Siena team, I mean, they're a reflection of who he is. You know, they play hard, they're gritty, super competitive, you know, high energy. And he's just a high-level coach, man. You can hear it when he talks in the press conferences. Everything is sharp. He has a plan. He knows what he's doing. So I think he'd be a heck of a hire. And then obviously the staff that he has, it's, you know, Syracuse guys, so everybody is familiar. And then if you hire him, it's like so much nostalgia for the fan group and the alum and the boosters. I mean, I think they'll come in droves and support for the NIL. And then obviously Hop is great as well. And Shaheen Holloway has done an unbelievable job at Seton Hall. So all three are great candidates. But again, it could be another guy. I don't know the connection that Blair has. It could be a guy, Bobby Hurley. I heard that name. It could be a guy, a West Coast guy. Who knows? So probably sooner than later. But all those three guys that we just talked about, really, really good candidates.
You know, you played with Jerry, and you were there when he made that run in the tournament, and you know, was he like a coach on the court? You guys, there's a story that after the DeBall came that year, he kind of had like a players meeting and told you guys, I don't want to go out like this. You know, was he like a player on the court, or a coach on the court?
Yeah, I mean, he was just like a super competitive dude. Like I looked, you know, the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. Yeah. That was kind of like me and him. We were the same type of people, same type of competitors. So like I understood, like, when he was upset, that's just his competitive nature. And I mean, that was the same for Coach Boeheim. He's a fiery guy, and he wants to win games. And you know, the way GMAC plays is the way he coaches. You know, he's fiery. He's going to get in your face. He's going to hold you accountable. But he's holding himself accountable as well. And again, in those 2 years, what he's done at Siena, unbelievable job. I don't care what level it is. to be able to turn around a team like that in that little of a time with little NIL money, that's a big challenge. So if he does get the job, if he does get hired, I think it'd be an unbelievable hire, regardless of what people are saying. You want to go outside the family. Look, I don't care if it's in the family, out the family, whatever. You want to hire the best candidate for the job. I mean, that's what you should be looking at. I don't care if he went to St. Louis or Syracuse or Texas, whatever it is. Who's the best guy for the job? And I think G-Mac, he's right up there with all those other candidates.
It was 20 years ago that he went on that run in the Big East tournament, and he said it's crazy. Yesterday was the anniversary of the 6 overtime game. You know, looking back on all that stuff now, Eric, can you even imagine that it was that long ago?
I can't.
No, it actually scares me a little bit. You know, it's just like my oldest daughter's going to college next year. My youngest will be a junior, and then, you know, I got my son who'll be 8 months. It just, I mean, life just flies by, you know. So I think it really humbles you and kind of brings you back a little bit, and just being grateful for all those opportunities and all those games that we played in. And, I mean, so many memories and so many good times.
Have your girls sat through the 6 overtime game, or at least the end of regulation and the 6 overtimes? Have you shown them that?
No, they just seen highlights. That's okay. Their attention span. The 3 to 4 minutes, you know.
Yeah, right.
Eric, I could be wrong on this, but I'm super blessed to sit where I sit at all the games. But I think during that 2006 run, I think I was the maddest I've ever seen Coach Boeheim at a player. Did you try and draw a charge in one of those games late?
Carl Krauser, free throw line, and it would have been my second charge in my career. But no, you 100. I know, Paulie. Right when you said that, I'm looking at the play in my head right now. I know exactly. And then Coach was like, "What are you doing?" Because it's the end of the game. We didn't really need to do anything, and why would I pick up full court when I was just supposed to run back and play at the top of the zone? But we got lucky. We won the game, and if we didn't, then we'd talk about a whole nother thing. You know,
you might not be here anymore.
I legitimately remember that was the maddest I've ever seen him.
Yes, exactly. And then, I have nothing to say to that because you're absolutely right.
Devo, great catching up with you as always. We appreciate the time, and best of luck moving forward with your beautiful family. And I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Eric Dvandorf joining us here on the show. And phone lines open the rest of the way. 315-437-7644 is the number if you'd like to get involved. And we've still got today's business to get to here in the second hour. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
He was throw your coat mad at Eric. That's so funny. Another thing people don't get, and it might have been Red's personality, that Jerry and even a Devo, those guys can't grasp the motor on this. I don't think they could have lived with the motor on this year's team.
Outside of William Kyle, probably, right?
Yeah.
You okay?
I got to go grocery shopping. Anybody want to carry my groceries across Armory Square? I have found that's the worst part of loft life, guys. Govendo, we voted you off the island while you were in the air. YouTube, how we doing?
Oh, I just hit microphone by accident. Sorry, guys. My son called.
Do you think I have Instacart money? No, that's what I normally do, but I kind of miss grocery shopping. Like, I like to walk through. Maybe there's new products on the shelf. Maybe there's something that's discontinued, and I could get it for cheap. I like to grocery shop. I like shopping. I think I'm a woman. I haven't had pork chops since I moved downtown. I got to go do that. Yeah, I'll go to Wegmans. I go to Ollie's all the time, too. I like good stuff cheap, Steve. Big Ollie's fan. Ollie's is like my favorite.
Aldi?
Not Aldi. Ollie's.
Costco?
No, Ollie's. My next wife, I've never had one. That'd be my only wife. I've seen Mike in Wegmans and Walmart, I believe. Or Target. I saw you at Target. Mike doesn't shop at Walmart. I don't know what this song's about. Lay Down Sally, Steve. I got an idea, but I could be wrong just because my mind's in the gutter all the time. Are we doing today's business?
One more segment, then today's business.
Are we just getting on time here?
We're just getting on time here. Did you watch any basketball? Did you see the Duke game last night?
Yeah, Florida State played great. Two teams coached by their... I laid the most beautiful trap for the Twitter trolls last night. Oh, I caught them all. Right hooked them. Rope-a-doped their dumbasses, Steve.
Yeah, you want to share?
I posted, Florida State's playing great for a team that's coached by an alum. Didn't think that was possible. And then everybody's, they lost, dumbass. And I went, yeah, to the number one team in the country who's also coached by an alum, you dumbass. Thank you. I rest my case. Hook, line, and sinker. Caught all the dummies. Right hook, uppercut. Combination.
Well done, Paulie.
Thank you.
Yeah, Duke survives a scare. They get Clemson tonight in the semis.
The Florida State coach has been good.
Yeah.
If they get their football team right,
watch out.
Yeah, that NIL is going to go up exponentially in the basketball.
Yeah, he's done more with less. You know, you talk about how many teams in the conference have done more with less. I think he is an example this year of punching up.
And it's not easy to do that.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do that. It means you're a good coach, but you might not do it every year. You have to do it, though, once every 3 or 4 years if you want to keep your job. There was no punching up in the Adrian Autry era.
Miami, Virginia in the other semifinal game. You know, Duke, obviously, with the injuries, they didn't look great last night. They did find a way to win. Isaiah Evans went for 32. Malik Brown actually got the start because of the injuries.
I can't believe they chased him out of town. All right, sorry.
I'm just trying to kill a few minutes here. You know, have a serious.
I can't believe Kadari Richmond was chased out of town. Malik Brown. You know, Jim Boeheim said something the other day that had completely slipped my mind. The inability to keep Jesse Edwards was such a blow to the program.
Yeah.
That's the one that got away because they had him.
Yeah. Then some things went wrong behind the scenes. And, yeah. And then he got away. Yeah.
Yeah. They had him locked in at a price from what I've heard, and then didn't cross all their I's and dot all their T's or whatever it is.
It's the other way. It's the crossing of the T's.
As soon as I said it, yes, Steve. I learned that in Earth Science.
Earth Science.
Yes, I did. Yeah. But yeah, they screwed that up.
Yes, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's get back outside.
Ice almost came looking for Jesse Edwards if he had stayed at Syracuse.
Let's get to today's business on the other side.
All right.
We'll do that. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
No, Cusack. The dad was smart to keep shopping. Anytime in those. Yeah, why are you? Sure. Right. Yeah, someone screwed that up.
I'm
bigly.
very happy
No, you're
that
not.
it was that person.
No, he never felt any ramifications for it.
Well, shocking. Not shocked.
No, working on a guest. Working on a big time guest.
There's a Providence fan account. It looks legit. It only has 346 followers though. But saying that the deal for Hodgson to Providence is all but wrapped up. It is a fan account.
It's on Twitter. It's true.
That's what I mean.
I won't believe it till Mike McAllister says it.
I won't believe it. Yeah, well, McAllister, Thamel, all those guys.
I'm just saying McAllister because he's in our chat.
Is he? Well, I believe Mike is. Other than him being an Eagles fan, I believe pretty much everything else he stands for. We have a lot of just headphones.
LA Orange, you can bust our chops about not breaking stories. We get those guys. We get the coaches on immediately after they're hired, though. We get them before anybody else does.
It's true. That is very true.
Yeah, he's wrapped up to Providence. My wallet's hurting my ass right now, so I'm going to take it out.
You see what I added to the...
That's our little boy, Jordan.
I felt that was a good addition.
Jordan asked me for my address yesterday, and I asked him why, and he said, I'm sending you a bomb.
Yeah, I know why.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't.
I know why. It's a surprise, so I'm not going to...
I don't like this now.
I'm not gonna.
He goes, you gave that up real easy.
Yeah.
Like he said, someone wants to send me a thank you note.
Yeah, yeah. It's yes. That is actually yes. That is correct.
Is it Kyle?
No. He probably will, but no. Fun week, Steve? Yeah.
No, it's been good. I mean, listen, we had to.
Got Mike Papa calling me.
Oh, hey, Mike Papa's on the phone. He's also in the chat.
Should I put him on?
Yeah, let's hear it. Put him on speaker.
Mike, you're on speaker in the chat.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, I was going to ask what the surprise is, but I guess I can't ask that.
I'll call you after the segment.
Hall of Fame kicker.
Anyone needs insurance.
Mike, you need any hours?
No.
Sure.
Mike wants to know if anyone needs any insurance.
Miss you,
My
Mike.
place is $200 an hour.
$200 an hour.
No. Apparently, he doesn't read the newspaper.
Wait, what?
$200
I don't read the newspaper. What were you saying before I cut you off? Sorry.
Now it's got me worried.
It's nothing bad. Genuinely, it's nothing bad.
What? What's going on?
Someone wants to send me something. Like, it's weird.
Someone's sending him a surprise.
Why wouldn't they just ask for my email to email me if it's a
in the mail?
Yeah.
Why didn't they ask for the address here?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I did it now. I gave my phone, my home address up too easy.
I mean, who's Jordan gonna give it to? That's like,
I don't know. Maybe the person duped him. Into murder. They're going to murder me. I'm like John Lennon. The unplugged version of Layla. Eric Clapton is our artist of the day. Let him cook, man. Remember when the Unplugged series were cool? I liked the Nirvana, Alice in Chains, LL Cool J did it.
Yes.
Yeah. Unplugged. Do you like acoustic music, Paul?
Yeah, I'm not against it.
Should we switch up and do acoustic versions of Artist of the Days?
Talk about giving yourself extra work.
Live versions.
Yeah.
We had a good summer segment David and I thought of out there.
Okay, let's hear it.
Which is we interview the callers. Get to know the callers there in the summer. So Scooter, get to know Scooter.
No.
Get to know Stefan.
I don't want to know them.
This is why we want to do it, because we know you don't want to do it.
I don't care to know anything about anybody that calls this show or chats. No.
You wouldn't want to get to know?
That would ruin it, because then when I call them stupid, it would be personal. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to not know them when I call them stupid.
I don't know. I feel
Because
like
then if I get to know them and know what they do for a living and how they are as people, it's harder to...
So then what about when you call one of us stupid?
Well, you're stupid.
You can't tie your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
It's hard to defend you.
Look, Francisco Lindor put out shoes without laces. It's what he wears every day, and I've bought a pair. And he is a future Hall of Famer.
But it's probably just out of convenience. It's not. I don't think it's out of not knowing how to tie his shoes.
What I just explained is what makes it easy for everybody to do what they do on Twitter, to say the things they do on Twitter. Like, if I personally knew, like, people think I glaze Red Autry and I ride around in a duck boat with him and I hang out with him. I don't, but I literally have met the guy and seen him work and seen what he does. So am I going to say things horrible about him? No, because I know the guy. Like, when you're on Twitter and you don't know people, you know.
It just sounds like common courtesy to me is what that sounds like.
No, it's normal. It's normal. It's like the windshield. It's like having a windshield in your car. You're driving, someone cuts you off, you're gonna road rage, you're gonna flip them off, yell at them. When that big dude gets out of his car and you're out of your car, you're not gonna do it to his face. Like it's a weird thing.
Or if you know him,
if you know
you're not
him,
gonna road rage.
Yeah.
Yes. Although you shouldn't do that anyway, Paulie. But anyway, today's business brought to you by
Superior Plus Propane.
What do you got for us?
I got you. You touched on it earlier. Miami of Ohio. They finally lost. Joe Lenardi has him in as his first, I think it was last four bye. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got him safely in.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
wouldn't have to play 11 or 11.
They should not be safely in.
He's got him safely in right now.
I think his direct quote yesterday on ESPN was, at some point, 31-0 should matter. I think that's what he said.
I have to agree with that. I do think it has to matter still.
Who'd they lose to?
They lost to UMass.
Yeah. What was UMass's seed?
8.
Yeah, okay, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. You had one pressure game and you collapsed.
In fairness,
weed all over the court.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but in fairness, they've played several pressure games to keep this streak alive. I mean, they almost lost several times and got the job done.
That's great.
Yesterday they didn't. It was a tie game. I think UMass scored with like 28 seconds left or something like that, and then Miami missed, and then they fouled, and they lost by 4. But I mean, they've been in a lot of close games of late, especially.
They fought back.
Found a way to win. This one, probably the most important one, they didn't. So, in any event, I'm with you, Paulie. I think that because there's so much debate and their strength of schedule is so weak, and I'm not saying it's their fault. I know that they tried to play anybody and everybody, and nobody wanted to play them. I get that. I would put them in Dayton. Like that's exactly what Dayton is. Somebody that you have questions about and question their merits, whether or not they deserve to be in the tournament. Let them play their way in. So I would put them in Dayton.
I still think that makes 31-0 matter because they still have a chance to get in.
I think you get the number 1 overall seed in the NIT. Congratulations. You earned it.
Yeah, I mean, Armasaur says Miami versus Auburn in Dayton. I 100% would sign off on that. You've got whatever they are, the 13th place team in the SEC
I think so.
with a 500 record and a lot of quad one wins, a lot of quad one opportunities against a team that really didn't have any opportunities given the nobody wanted to play them, and they won basically everything until the very end. I think that's talk about storylines. There you go. The two teams that are like, well, we should be in over this team. Let them play. See who deserves to be in.
Well, it's like Lenardi has Auburn, Oklahoma, first 4 out, which is, I have to agree with you. If 31-0 has to matter, but you haven't played anybody, then if you're in the SEC and you've played a lot of people, because I think Oklahoma, I think they're 12th in the SEC, somewhere around there. At some point, then these teams have to somehow play each other, see each other, to then prove, hey, I should be there, or we blew them out.
Well, it's very difficult in the committee because you're not comparing apples to apples, right? You're comparing a team that has, like, Oklahoma had 13 quad one opportunities. They were 4-9 this year in quad one. And
that's the point of Dayton.
They're 19-14 overall. So what do you like better? Do you like that better? Auburn has played 17 quad one opportunities. They are 17-16, 4-13 in quad one. Would you prefer that? Or Miami of Ohio played a grand total of 0 quad one games. And again, not their fault, right? I mean, they tried to play a lot of different teams. Nobody wanted to play them. And so they could only play who was on their schedule. And
that's why Dayton exists.
Right.
Yeah. That's the perfect reason for
Tronic says Dayton is a built-in structural punishment. If you win, you rush a second flight in a week. Yeah, but
we've seen
teams have gone on a run.
Syracuse went on a
little.
Yeah,
we've seen teams come out of that spot and they get some momentum.
North Carolina.
Whereas like other teams are waiting around for a week and they play, there's a little rust they got to shake off. There is something to be said. You see that in conference tournaments a lot too. And I realize that, for the most part, the double byes made it to the semifinals in the ACC with the exception of Clemson beat North Carolina. But you see that in these especially these big conferences where teams have double byes and they're waiting around, and the teams that play a game or two and, shake off the rust and get a little bit of a rhythm and get used to the arena, and you see some of those teams go on a run. So, listen, you would much prefer to be in Dayton than not, right? Because if you're not in Dayton, it means you didn't make the field. So I think Dayton is perfect for that kind of debate. Miami or Auburn, Miami or Oklahoma. Okay, go play. I would prefer to see Miami play one of those two teams as opposed to them playing each other.
Exactly, that's right.
I don't want to see Oklahoma and Auburn play each other. I would love to see Miami play one of them and see who gets to go.
Then real quick, just touch on it. The Big 12 got rid of the LED glass courts. Players were slipping on it. Guy couldn't play because he got a migraine. They basically pulled the plug on it immediately. What I'm wondering is, I get it's cool. Why mess with the court? Just throw some hardwood out there, go play. I feel like it's the last thing we need to be trying to make better. They tried to do this in the NBA with the basketball those years ago, cut all these players' hands. They eventually went back to what they had.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't see. So did they start the tournament with that?
Yes, and then players, because it's a softer court. So when players went to really explode, they couldn't. They would be slipping, falling, and then another player got a migraine, couldn't even leave the locker room.
So I saw last night, I was watching some of the Kansas TCU game, and when they made a free throw, the free throw lane lit up when they made the free throw. So they're only doing it during the course of play. They're not.
All I saw is Scott Van Pelt talked about it, and he brought on Boog Shambi, and they said they're getting rid of it.
They're getting rid of it.
And I believe it was last night, so maybe it came out after the games. But
or maybe it was just during stoppages. Because obviously a free throw is a stoppage. I don't know, but that's because I was like, what am I seeing right now?
Yeah,
I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me.
Part of that too was the players couldn't. They kept forgetting where the 3-point line was and the out of bounds line. They were just running out because they couldn't tell that that's where the line was, or they were stepping in and taking very, very long-range 2-pointers. So,
yeah, interesting. Well, I think that's probably a good thing if the players were struggling with it, because you want them. Listen, I'm all for technology, but you want the players to be performing at their best.
Exactly.
And if something from the court is forcing them to not perform at their best, you got to fix it. So I'm glad they did
that. Today is National Coconut Tort Day, Steve. Do you enjoy coconut? Like a good Almond Joy or a Mounds or coconut water.
You're going to show me your age here if you say yes to this.
I do not like coconut water. I've tried coconut water.
There we go. Correct answer.
For health benefits. It is. I do not like it at all.
Why? It tastes good.
Why don't I like it?
Yeah.
I don't like the way it tastes.
Yeah, I don't like the way it tastes either. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, I don't mind coconut flavored things or coconut cream pie or something like. I'm okay with coconut. I don't like coconut water.
I'm just not a coconut guy. My grandmother loved it. Both my grandmothers.
We used to buy coconuts as kids, crack them open, and eat them, like scoop it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
like Island Boys.
I was having spasms in my calves, and the doctor said,
"New injury."
The doctor
You are
said,
a disaster of a
"Drink
human.
some coconut water; it will help you." And I hate it. Like I forced myself to drink it, but I hate it.
You went to
for spasm.
You went to the doctor for a spasm in your calf?
it was like my regular checkup, and I was
All
like,
right.
"Listen, I keep having these spasms."
Your doctor must be like, "Oh, I'm fine. He's here again." Jeez, you're a nightmare.
Do we have a long enough paper to write the prescriptions that we're gonna have to?
Also, National Jewel Day. Do you like jewelry?
Do I like jewelry?
Would you wear like a necklace or a watch? Do you like watches?
I do like watches. Yes, my watch right now needs a new battery, which is why I haven't been wearing it. But generally speaking, if it's working, I'm wearing it. Yeah,
I have 2 really expensive watches that were gifted to me, and I never wear them.
Yeah,
I have.
Do you wear them for big occasions?
No.
Okay.
I have a Movado.
Wow, do you really?
Yeah, and I have a Rolex that are really expensive. Yeah.
People are gonna break into where you now live.
That were gifted to me.
So they just sit there? You never wear them?
Yeah, I don't want to wear them out.
Well, if you go to like a big event.
No, I'm 5'6".
I agree. I've inherited some. I agree with him.
I'm a tiny little man, and if someone sees that watch on my wrist, they're going to beat me and take it.
If you go to a nice function, I don't think anyone if
you gotta walk through the parking lot, bro.
New York State broadcasters. Next time we win an award, why don't you wear your watch?
Because then I gotta walk through Armory Square to get back to my house. No,
just put your put your cuff over the top.
Here's my watch. It's $1,000.
Yeah,
right there.
I'm a scrawny little man.
Yes.
I'm not getting murdered for my watch.
We don't have to get murdered if that happens.
Do you know Movados come with like little cards with your name on, like credit cards with your name on it, so they can follow you, like you can track your cards. Like if you hand it down to somebody, your next. Yeah, it's cool.
What are you going to do with these watches? How long have you had them?
Probably about 10 years, 11 years.
And you've never worn them?
I've put them on.
Yeah, but you haven't worn them out of the house?
No.
Okay.
Indy, look at these. How do I look?
Why do you?
You know what's even funnier is like I have my mom's old jewelry case, and that's where they sit in there. They're locked in there.
Yeah. Huh. So, where were you going with this?
It's just
that was the question.
Day. Yeah,
okay.
I was. Like, have you ever worn? Like, I had an earring forever.
Would you pierce your ear?
No.
Like I've thought about putting one in and wearing it around just to see how people will react. Like Harrison Ford still has an earring in.
Does he really?
Yeah, but I was a hoop guy. I had a hoop earring.
Huh. Okay. No, I never wore an earring. I used to wear a crucifix around my neck. That was about it. And then I would I wear a watch sometimes.
Do we know who?
I don't know who's on the phone.
I have no idea. Hold on.
What do you got?
Should I start wearing an earring?
Well, they called and asked for Brent Axe's number.
Well, no, somebody's on hold, though.
Oh, well, then I have not been told who's on hold.
No. Okay.
You want to take a shot or get to our last break?
I want to get this caller on the air. Maybe Dave could take.
It's Mr. Burko
in Mr. Burko.
Okay.
What's up?
Just a long-time listener. This question for you guys.
Sure.
It looks like it's all NIL money to me with this basketball thing. Is it a case where the university won't or can't spend the money? And if that's the case, I see St. John's and others got big-time donors. SU can't come up with some big-time donors with all the famous people and rich people that have been through the program?
Well, there's rich. Like the best example I have of this is Syracuse is. I've said this on the air. Syracuse was playing SMU the other day, and they went through their famous alumni, and it was Syracuse had Mike Tirico and Bob Costas, and then SMU had the creator of Bumble and Tinder, the creator Charles Schwab.
Yeah.
Like there's a huge difference. And then Syracuse spent the money that they were allowed to spend. It's just there's different levels of rich. Syracuse has very famous people, but it's not a sustainable level of rich.
Boy, that seems hard to believe with 30, 40 years of, famous alumni. I get famous is one thing, but how about famous, unfamous, and rich?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are. It's just, it's not at the level of like if you could spend that money, Stanford would be the greatest athletic program in the world. Harvard would be if you could spend that money that way.
Do you think the university doesn't want to spend the money?
No, they spent all the money they are allowed to spend.
They spent the maximum of the revenue share.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
So how do we increase it? Because to me, it's all about having enough money to get the good players, because that's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
and I get it. There's no guarantee you're going to win, but you can have a better shot of winning.
You need corporations to buy in. You got to somehow get the nickel and dime. Like, people don't think it matters, but you got to get the nickel and dime fans to donate too. It
adds up. Yeah. Right. Especially with a large fan base.
Again, I use St. John's, and I know that's an outlier, but that one guy gave 7 figures, and then they got somebody else that just donated $32 million to build a new arena.
Yeah.
2 people.
Yeah, and SMU's court is named after one of their biggest donors, like some oil guy, and Syracuse's is after Jim Boeheim.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a great question, and that's the it's the I was going to say $1 million question, but it's much more than that.
I'm sure
right?
there are billionaire Syracuse grads that probably could help. It's just Syracuse, like in the same with Stanford, like Syracuse grads. If you went to Newhouse and you have money to give, like if you're Mike Tirico, you'll probably give some to the athletics, but he will probably give a majority of his money to help building studios and
Newhouse.
Yeah, it's exactly what he does.
Stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Like there's only so much money to go around because the rich alum at every university are getting pulled in every direction to try and give money to different programs.
Right. It's like Dick Clark, the Dick Clark Studios up there at Newhouse. He gave money for that specifically.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate the call. And yes, it does seem like so much of college athletics these days are if you can figure out the finances. And that's in part why I think Bryan Blair got the job, because he figured out the finances at Toledo. It seems like he's known as being a great fundraiser. And, even in the release yesterday, Mike Haney talked about his creative ability to handle the business side of college athletics. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but I think that it has been a key selling point for why Bryan Blair is going to be the next AD at Syracuse University. And again, hopefully he can figure that out. He raised
282%.
Yeah, I was going to say almost 3 times the money.
They have a fund, and they were able since 2022, as of August last year, 2025, $11.5 million, and that's at Toledo.
Right,
that's pretty good.
And hopefully that translates to what they're trying to accomplish here. All right, we'll take our final time out. We'll wrap up the show, wrap up the week next on ESPN Radio.
No, Toledo does not have more money. LA Orange, what is that?
That's over 3 years of raising money.
Why are you laughing at that? Like, that proves my point. Littler schools can't compete with the bigger schools.
Like Dave said earlier, they had $3 million to spend on football, and that was a lot to them, and a lot in their conference.
I can't wait to have a weekend off, Steve. Are you off this weekend?
Yeah, I got to start preparing for that draft show. Roll your eyes. No, I do have to start with that, but I'm off from Channel 9 stuff. Yeah,
I am going to finally get everything sorted out in my house.
Good.
Finally moved in?
Yeah, I'm in, but there's still tons of boxes in my closet. I have a huge closet, luckily.
You do have a
Paul's been in my house.
Yeah,
I could probably make that closet into an office, but I don't have anywhere to put my clothes in. Are you upset that he's seen my house and you haven't?
A little bit. If we're being honest.
Well, I helped him move.
Yeah, that's the only reason. You were supposed to, but you put
It's not like he invited me over.
He was having calf spasms. I probably will. I was thinking maybe next week I'll have you guys over.
All right.
We'll
You making fun of my calf spasms?
Yeah, we'll watch a tournament game or two.
I'm good with that.
My room is so small, Kevin, that there's no room for like a what are they? A wardrobe or a portable
Bureau?
closet? No, a wardrobe, like a portable closet.
Oh, like
a lie.
Yeah.
He was having calf spasms. Yes.
Do you like that you always?
Oh,
in the
my
house?
neck and calf.
I was gonna say you got someone looking over your shoulder from now on. But
why is that funny that I was having calf spasms?
How old are you, dude? Drink of water. Have a Gatorade.
But I tried those things. They didn't help.
No, I hate coconut. My thing
I
is,
thought it was dehydration too. It wasn't.
What was it?
They
then?
never
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah, you're a hypochondriac. You can't eat anything because you're scared of it. You need to go see a therapist.
I've gone to therapy before.
You need more.
Steve, why are you here? I can't eat anything. Help me.
It's white and creamy.
Oh, that's why you don't like coconut.
I should probably go to a therapist and figure out my flight things, but I'm so mentally a mess on everything else that I got to talk to her about other things. 14.
Yeah, it wasn't potassium or magnesium. I started taking both supplements. It was neither of those things. They haven't figured it out. They don't know. It's been going on for years.
It's called in your head.
It's not in my head. You can see my calves twitch. Like if you looked at my calves, you can see them twitch when it's happening a lot. I do drink electrolytes. I've got the electrolyte packets. Throw them in the water.
It's probably from not getting enough of whatever you would be getting from eating a normal diet.
Are you like allergic to gluten? You just don't know it.
He's a gluten for punishment when it comes to food. This guy good, I don't. But I've seen his name before. So.
Pearl Jam. That's Jerry's favorite.
Why are you quit cheating?
I wasn't cheating. I do take magnesium every day, Michael Antonio.
So do I.
Take a supplement every day.
It's good to be
Take
young.
a nap. Go take a nap.
They say people who take one nap a day actually have a higher IQ. That's what studies have found.
Interesting.
Well, I'm an idiot then because I don't have time for a nap.
I was on Gomez and Company.
Who watches that crap? It's in the way that you use it, Steve. Had a few ladies say that to me, Steve. I don't know if you know that or not.
Did not know that.
You happy you know it now?
Yes.
And they're talking about my large bankroll. Hold on. I'm trying to add a few more. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, one more. Pearl Jam, Eazy-E, Van Halen, Ed Sheeran, The Kinks, or Heart. Heart, The Kinks, Ed Sheeran, Van Halen, Eazy-E, Pearl Jam.
This is for Monday, right?
For Monday, March 16th.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go Pearl Jam because that's Jerry's favorite.
Oh my God, you're sucking up. He's not even the coach.
I know, but we're gonna know who they're playing, when they're playing, and we're gonna be talking March Madness on Monday. So it'll
You remember
tie
he
right
gave me his 7
He did.
favorite.
They were like deep cuts.
Yeah, they was
Yeah,
awful.
they were deep
It was
cuts.
the worst artist of the day ever.
So
I
you
don't
can
think
do it.
I don't think he should be the head coach now. Your pick?
Yeah, I'll go Eazy-E.
I wouldn't mind Eazy-E. That was gonna be my second choice.
Thanks for making my life hard. I am going to go with, believe it or not, the Kinks. So the Kinks, Pearl Jam, or Eazy-E under Matt from Auburn. Eazy-E, Armosaurus.
There we go.
Won it all. So there you go. Tomorrow we'll hear radio.
Monday.
Whatever the hell it is.
You coming in tomorrow?
Yeah.
You're dedicated.
I will come in tomorrow because I tape my my 80s show. Tomorrow is 3 peats on my 80s show.
So it's like
8 to 10, 3 songs.
Not one-hit wonders?
No, it's 3 songs from one artist.
Nice.
So,
can you give us a sneak peek of who's going to be involved?
Prince, Michael Jackson.
I like it. 3 in a row. All right.
Thompson Twins.
From the station that makes you, that plays the music that makes you feel good.
That's correct.
All right.
I really like the Kinks. I would have liked to play them, but you guys all suck.
I'm sure they'll show up again.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Yeah, you have a good weekend as well.
too.
Enjoy the first
Any big
weekend off
plans?
in a bit.
Let's talk for that. We did this last Friday.
We did do this last Friday.
Let's have a little talk.
It was nice, actually.
It actually had me go into the weekend in a way better mood.
You want to do this on Orange Nation overtime? We can just talk.
No. I just want, you got any big plans for the weekend?
Big plans. My son's got basketball in the morning.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Game or just practice?
It's just through his school. It's like an open gym. They do like drills and then they'll do like a scrimmage at the end. So yeah, no, he loves it. So I'm looking forward to. I always love watching him play basketball. It's fun.
Paul,
I'm gonna go annoy my mom.
You going away?
I'm flying home later tonight.
Are you coming back?
I'll come back Sunday night.
Okay, good. Thank
so
you for letting me know. It would have been nice to know you were out of town as your boss.
You didn't put me on the schedule for anything.
I know, but it would, like if something goes wrong, I now know not to call you if I need help.
You know.
What about you, Paulie?
Probably gonna go grocery shopping, get my house in order. Laundry. I got laundry because I don't know why I do this, but I packed my clothes in my suitcase. Didn't wear them, but I will still take them out and launder them because they smell like a hotel room. Your clothes get a hotel room smell.
That's true.
Do the exact same thing
when you're on the road. People think you should start a band called Calf Spaz. It opened Kirakathon.
I got to stop sharing things on this show.
Well, you're just a disaster.
What instrument would you play in Calf Spaz?
I did play guitar for 2 years in high school.
Oh, did you ever
No.
Did you ever try and woo a lady with like
I wasn't very good. No, I took it because I'm awful at art, and they said, well, you could take like an independent study if you want to avoid music or art, because I couldn't sing and I can't draw. So I was like, okay, it would be cool to learn how to play an instrument. So I played guitar for 2 years.
In that outfit you're in, I could see you like playing an acoustic guitar, like Oasis, playing Oasis for a lady.
No, it didn't happen.
Or you walk into a party with your acoustic guitar and everybody's like, oh God,
not this again.
Steve's gonna play Dave Matthews.
Play an acoustic set here.
Trying to get some. All right.
Was Dave Matthews around in 1993?
Yeah, close. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh man, here we go. That dude was at every party, like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Like there was a bonfire, and he'd start playing. You're like, I'm gonna kick that guitar out of here.
It's going to be firewood here in a second.
Yeah. All right. That was a good show. Have a good weekend. Aren't you glad we did that? It was refreshing. It washes the anger and stuff out when you talk to your friends.
Okay.
And I'm thinking next week, maybe Thursday or Friday, during the day, I'll get some pizza. We'll have some lunch. We'll watch some of the tournament up at my place.
I like that idea.
All right.
I like that idea. All right. We got to run, everybody. For Paul Lee, I'm Steve. Enjoy the weekend, and we will talk to you again on Monday.